I have made my very first makeup purchase after a year of not buying any makeup. And when I first thought about what I wanted to buy once that 1 year no buy was finished, I felt a little impulsive, like a kid let loose in a candy store. And at first I had a lot in my cart. A lot of stuff that had been sitting in my wish list that I could get for a good deal. And then I took a breath and I thought to myself, if I wasn't finishing a year of not buying makeup, would there be as much urgency to buy all of this at one time? Because the point of the no buy for me was to have a little bit of a reset, to work through some of my oldest makeup products, enjoy what I have, and just kind of slow down the rate at which I was bringing in new makeup, because it was getting to a point where it was an unsustainable pace. And I didn't want to just repeat the same habits that I had before. As with this haul, and maybe moving forward for a little bit, I'm going to focus on only purchasing products that I have run out of or I'm about to run out of. And then there is one category that I am going to bring in a few products just because it's a category that I really love. If you watch my videos, you probably know what category I'm talking about. Also, I did a video just like this back in 2018. I did a year-long makeup no buy in 2017, and then I filmed my very first haul after my first no buy. I bought way more makeup that time than I did in this one, so if you're looking for an extra long haul with albeit some products from brands that don't even exist anymore because it's been almost a decade, then I will have that linked. But let's jump in. So I technically made two purchases, one from the Scandinavia website and one from Ulta. From Scandinavia, I've purchased another one of the Oil Control Makeup Finishing Spray. I got the 8-ounce bottle because it is the best cost per ounce, like it's got the lowest average cost. At the time it was on sale, I think it was like 20-30% off. Plus a mini of the bridal spray was a gift with purchase included, which was perfect because not only have I run out of all of my full-size setting sprays, but I'm also down to my last mini setting spray and I'm almost finished with it. And I like to have minis to take with me traveling, especially this year I have a few trips coming up. And they're for special occasions, weddings, things like that, so I do want to have a setting spray with me. It's been a while since I've worn the Scandinavia setting sprays, so I don't remember if there is a really big difference between these two. So I imagine I'll take this mini with me when I travel. Once I finish it, I'll just use this bigger bottle to put into the small one so that I always have a mini version. And same with this other setting spray that I purchased from the Ulta website. This is a giant jumbo size of the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. This is the 6.7 ounce one. And if you can see, I don't understand how they do that with the packaging because this is 8 ounces and this is 6.7 ounces. But to me, it kind of looks like there's more product in here. But isn't there like a children's test that they do where they put the same amount of liquid in like a bigger container, a wider container, and then a thinner one, and they have people say which one has more product in it, and it's the same amount of product, but the kids are always like, oh, it's the taller one. That's me. I have no concept of what the volume of things is supposed to look like, apparently. So now I have a big size of both of these, and I have a mini spray bottle for the Charlotte Tilbury one too. So I'll just pour from the bigger bottles into the smaller ones and take those with me when I'm traveling. So that's great. Those are two of my top favorite setting sprays. They have slightly different finishes. They kind of do the same thing. They're both good for longevity. Probably the Scandinavia one's gonna be way better for like oil control. Both great for helping me look less powdery. And the Charlotte Tilbury one is slightly more glowy. I'm really glad to have both of these back in my collection. There are a few setting sprays I would love to try. I'm really curious about the matte version of this Charlotte Tilbury spray. And there's one from Danessa Myricks that I heard Julia Adams MUA talk about in like her top 3 in every category video. From the way she described it, it sounds like it's right up my alley, but I just have been a bit jaded with all the different setting sprays I've tried over the years. Very rarely have I found something that was a true favorite that was better than these two. So if I want to try either of those, I'll wait until a later day. There's no urgency. I don't need to get it right now. Another category I was running low on was a white foundation mixer. I have a little bit of the LA Girl white concealer left, but that's almost empty. And I finished the LA Girl White Pro Mixing Pigment earlier this year. I like the LA Girl pigment, but I did find that it would mattify my foundations and sometimes make them look a little bit more visible on my skin. And so I'm hoping that the illuminating foundation won't be super dewy or serumy necessarily, because I get oily on my own, but maybe it'll offer more of a skin-like finish. Yeah, from first impressions, it already feels more not creamy necessarily, but it feels less dry and isn't nearly as pigmented. So I think that'll make it a little easier to work with. Another category I'm low on is mascara. I'm down to my very last one. And I typically wear a mascara every day for 3 months and then get rid of it and replace it with a fresh one. And over the past like 6 to 8 months, I've actually been playing around with color mascaras too. So I wore a burgundy mascara and a brown mascara for a bit, and I really liked those. And as a result, I became more accustomed to having a black and a brown mascara in my collection. So I thought I would pick up one of each. For the black mascara, I went for a favorite. This is a mini of the Ilia Limitless Lash Mascara. It's got one of my favorite brushes, a great formula, and I always just get a mini of it because I don't feel like I finish a tube in that 3 months that I usually use a mascara for. And then for the brown one, I decided to get another old favorite. This is the Essence Lash Princess Mascara, but they have a brown version. I don't really need that many mascaras in my collection as long as I have 1 or 2 as a backup for when I eventually finish my current one. I feel like that's pretty good. And then the last replacement isn't actually makeup, it's just an eye cream. This is the Yerba Mate Wake Up Eye Gel from Good Molecules. I'm almost finished with the one I have. I use this almost as an eye primer where I'll put this under my eyes and then I will put an eye cream on top. I find that the skin around my eyes lately has been a lot drier, so pairing this sort of watery gel under the regular cream I feel like helps give me a little bit more moisture. So glad to have this back. Not technically makeup, but still part of this haul. Those were all of my replacement purchases. I did buy 2 products that technically didn't need to be replaced, but they're in a category that I love to try new formulas of, and that is lip products. Every December I do Litmas, where I feature a new lip product every day leading up to Christmas in December. Sometimes I do the full 25 days, sometimes I don't get there. Last year I did a very modified version of it because I wasn't bringing in new makeup products. I ended up getting sick right around the time I was filming all those, and I quickly lost steam, and I don't think I made it past like 10 or 11 videos in a row. Still like the videos that I was able to make, but I just kind of wasn't able to give it the full amount of effort and resources that I normally do. I don't think I'm gonna do a full 25 days of Litmas this year. Bringing in 20 plus lip products in to create those videos doesn't feel like the best choice for me personally, but lip products are something where I like to try different brands, different colors, different formulas, and I do actually finish them at a relatively decent pace. If you look at all the lip products I finished last year and so far this year, I think I finished like 27 or 28 lip products. Again, I have plenty. I don't necessarily need to bring in new ones, but it is one of my favorite things about makeup and has been for a while. So I'm going to continue buying lip products, but I am gonna always just try to check myself first. And on top of that, I will make sure that I am still reaching for and wearing all of the lip products I already have. Sustainable pace, that is what I'm trying to achieve, even with my lip products, even with a aspect of makeup that I love trying. The 2 lip products I purchased in this haul are 2 that have been on my wish list for a long time. One of them I already know I really love the formula. It's just a new shade in their range. And that's the Pillow Talk Love Effect lipstick in the shade Naughty Talk. This is in their Kissing formula, which is my favorite lipstick formula. It's in their regular packaging, and this is what it looks like. It's slightly more peachy than maybe I anticipated, but I really want to try this on. I don't have a mirror or anything, hold on. Yeah, it's slightly peachier or warmer than I anticipated, but still beautiful. I think neutral enough to still work for me. And then the other one is a product I don't know anything about, but I've been hearing It's Just Steph rave about it forever, and I just couldn't wait to try one for myself. And that's the Ole Henriksen Pout Preserve Peptide Lip Treatment in Vanilla Bonbon. Steph just did a giant best and worst lip balm video. It was amazing. It was like 1 hour and 40 minutes. So thorough. Swatches, demos, descriptions of the taste and scent, which I'm always so curious about with lip products, and I was so happy to see that she shared that information. Steph says that she likes this even better than the Summer Fridays lip balms, which are some of my favorites, so that already gives me really high hopes. So here goes nothing. It does smell really sweet like vanilla, which I don't mind. I like the applicator. That feels really nice. It does feel a little thicker than the Summer Fridays balm. So far, so good. That's really, really exciting. I've been thinking for a while about how I want to approach things now that my makeup no-buy is over. I think I'm going to continue with just replacing stuff that I'm running out of, and every once in a while treating myself to some lip products that I'm really excited to try. Hopefully finding enough absolute favorites to share with you in Litmus later this December. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to put any rules on myself. I don't feel like I'm very good at following specific rules unless it's just a straight out 100% no buy. That I can abide by because it's just an automatic no. Anytime that I've tried to do a restriction or a low buy or something, I just haven't been motivated to follow it for some reason. It's like I can't give myself an inch or else I'll take a mile. I hope you enjoyed my haul. I would love to know if you were surprised by what I bought or if you kind of knew I was gonna buy some of these things. But in the meantime, that's everything I have. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!